Scrolling through my feed, I nearly dropped my phone when I saw it, my face on a missing person poster. My heart thundered as I tried to convince myself it was a mistake, a cruel prank. But deep inside, I knew, my doppelganger had finally taken over my life. It all started a month ago, when strange things began happening. Friends claimed to have seen me in places I had never been, doing things I'd never do. I brushed it off as mistaken identity, until now. Here I was, staring at my own face, plastered under the word missing, and the reality hit me like a cold splash of water. I wasn't missing, I was right here. But my life was being lived by someone else. Determined to reclaim my life, I decided to follow the breadcrumb trail left unintentionally by my other self. I began visiting the places where I had supposedly been seen. Creepy, rundown cafes, a bookstore that seemed straight out of a gothic novel, and dimly lit bars where shadows clung to the patrons like dark secrets. Every person I met looked at me with a mix of recognition and confusion. It was unsettling, like I was an actor walking through someone else's script. The deeper I delved, the more I realized how seamlessly my doppelganger had slipped into my life, forming connections with people who knew me better than I knew myself. Acting on a hunch, I decided to visit the address listed on the poster. It was a small, nondescript apartment building on the edge of town. As I approached the door, a sense of dread washed over me. The key I had in my pocket fit perfectly into the lock. Inside, the apartment was a mirror image of my own, yet it felt suffocatingly wrong. Photographs adorned the walls, each with my face but in moments I couldn't recall. There was a journal on the table, filled with entries in my handwriting, detailing a life I hadn't lived. Panic clawed at my throat as I realized how complete this takeover truly was. I finally confronted my double in that dimly lit apartment. They wore my face but held a confidence I never possessed. "You weren't using it," they said with a smirk, a terrifying calmness in their voice. I tried to argue, to demand my life back, but their grip on my reality was already too strong. As they spoke, my memories began to blur, fading like an old photograph left in the sun. In that moment, I understood the chilling truth. I was the reflection all along, a shadow in the life of someone who had become more real than I ever was. My scream echoed in the empty apartment, unheard by a world that had already moved on without me.